TUBEOLOGY Play Real is, for me, TUBEOLOGY is a religion, it's a following, it's a cult, it's a movement, it's a revolution. Why use an approximation? Why use a simulation when you can play real?
The thing I love about valve amps is the kind of organic interaction you get as a player. When you're playing notes, it feels like the amp is breathing with you. You know, the harder you dig in, the greater the amp will respond. If you back off, the amp responds. It's just such an organic thing. And even just the movement of your body creates an interaction with the amp. And that creates a really great mojo because you are getting that feedback, literal feedback from the amp, which is then giving you inspiration and mojo to play better.
I think it's fair to say that amps kind of fall into two categories really. Those that are tube amps and those that want to be.
So many musicians are coming to the guitar never having really experienced tube amps now, because things have evolved and changed and technology is different and the way people make music and record music has changed in magnificent ways that's really creative. But there is something uniquely special about a tube amplifier. There's something magical about it.
They derived and evolved from simple radio circuits, which at the time used the cutting edge technology, which back in the 40s and the 50s was a valve. If you think about a tube, kind of electrons move from the cathode to the anode through a vacuum, through nothing but an empty space. I think when you look at a solid state chip, electrons flow through a kind of a silica lattice crystal structure, and it kind of appears from a tone point of view that the more fragile harmonics present in guitar tones travel better through a vacuum than through a crystal lattice. In a tube amp, these harmonics survive and you hear them as a bright living tone, but in a solid state amp they don't, they get squashed, they get eliminated. So it's just down to the simple laws of physics. Electrons can survive in a free state vacuum, whereas they have trouble surviving in a crystal lattice. I think one of the other things from a tube amp point of view is that tube amps run much higher voltages, and this has an impact on kind of the way they distort. The distortion sound of a tube amp is one of the things that draws guitar players back to the sound of a real tube amp.
So if I'm playing a really fast alternate pick run and I dig in with a pick, then you kind of get this natural compression. And if I back off with my picking a little bit but keep the speed, then it opens up. So the amp responds to my playing. So even within a run, I can change the dynamics of what's going on with the amp. And that's really cool because it means there's nothing hidden. Everything that I'm playing and that I'm making on the guitar is coming out of that amp. And really there's nowhere to hide, and that's a really good thing. Because if you're playing with a valve amp or a tube amp, then you are hearing you, warts and all, whether it's, you know, string noise, whether it's, you know, mishit notes, all of that stuff, and that'll help you to either get better or just enjoy that, but know yourself, rather than having it kind of masked by a digital signal chain, which can do wonders for covering up a world of issues with your playing. I don't want anything getting in the way of that. I want to be able to hear what I'm playing so I can either improve myself or I've got that organic relationship going on with the amp and it's real. For me, there's just nothing beats kind of just that happy accident of playing the right note at the right time and the amp is singing, and all of a sudden you get that wonderful, natural, blossoming feedback from that note, and it gives you inspiration, and then you play better as a result, and then once again the amp delivers for you and you're in this wonderful cycle. It's a real mojo, so you end up with a better performance generally, whether that's on, you know, a recording or whether that's live. You know, nothing beats the sound of a valve or tube amp really singing and you're just in the moment with it. It's fantastic.
But there's something unique about a tube product that is special. And for me, what that is feel. In that moment of creativity between the player and the guitar and the amplifier and whatever else is in the signal path, what that tube does, how it interacts with the speaker, what you get as a player from that experience is a totally unique thing, which is why everyone tries to emulate it, everyone tries to replicate it, but why bother emulating it and replicating it when you can just have it? It's there and it's real, and that's what these products do. We're proud of that in terms of what we've created. TUBEOLOGY Play Real is about how the player can experience the real thing.